Hey friends, so I'm having to start this video a little differently. I just finished editing the video and I realized that I never filmed my introduction. I usually start the video with no makeup and then at the end when I have all the makeup on, then I film my introduction, but I got distracted that day and I never filmed it. So I'm just popping on here to introduce the video. This video is going to be a tutorial using a new $10 eyeshadow palette that I just discovered. Actually, it's a face palette, it includes blushes and highlights. I discovered from Target recently, so that is what this video is all about. It is not the makeup that I have on because, again, I am filming this about a week after I filmed the first part. So hopefully you got the idea of the look from the thumbnail, and let's get started with the tutorial. Okay, so I've had this sitting on my countertop for a couple of weeks. I bought this at Target, and this is the first time I'm playing with it. So it's the brand Profusion, and it's the Eye and Cheek palette, 18 color eye and cheek makeup palette and brush. And I think this was $9.99. It was $10. So I have been, oh, sorry, it's got this, okay, there. I'm gonna try not to blind you with my ring light reflection. So I've been very curious about this brand. I've seen this in the makeup aisle at my Target for a couple of months now, and I just decided to pick this up the other day. Curiosity got the best of me. It was $9.99. Everything was really inexpensive. They had a few other large palettes, and they had some small eyeshadow palettes. I think they had a blush palette, maybe a contour palette. It looked like they had quite a variety of palettes that were all really inexpensive. I wanna say $10 was the highest of them. Some were $4.99, $3.99, kind of in between. But this comes with 12 eyeshadows. They look like really beautiful colors and a good mix of matte and shimmers. Then it comes with a couple of blush shades. I would say these 4 here are blushes, and then these 2 shades here which look to be like face highlighters. So I'm going to have some fun with this. These colors look beautiful. I have to say that I really like the shade range that you get in here. So hopefully if the quality is nice, I think this would be a really perfect palette. So we are going to play around and see what we think. Okay, so I'm gonna start by priming my eye, and today I'm using the Milani Eye Primer. It's just what I had around, and I'm just gonna use my fingertips. I'm not even gonna use a mirror. Take that. Okay, I lied, I'm gonna use a mirror. I wanna make sure that I blend this in really seamlessly so that there's no thicker spots. So we're gonna start with this shade right here, this warm transition shade. It's called Love. Ooh. Actually, you know what? Let's use the brush that it came with. This looks fun. It actually doesn't feel too bad. So it's a full-size brush, and it doesn't feel too bad. The crease part looks to be a little bigger than I normally like, but this shade, Honest, is pretty light, so I think that it'll be fine. Okay, I'm kind of impressed with that. That pigment came off really nicely. I love the color of it. It is kind of dusty. Let me show you. So when you kind of put your brush in here, you can see that it is kind of dusty. See that little, but that doesn't really bother me too much when shadows are like that. I feel like some other really high-end shadows are like that and it doesn't really bother me. Okay, well, I'm kind of impressed. I mean, that's a pretty good color payoff. Better than I expected. And this brush isn't too bad, actually. Aside from it being a little bit bigger, it's soft and it does a nice job of blending. Next, I'm going to go in with this shade here, Cookie, and I'm going to add this to the outer corner just to deepen the crease a tiny bit. And I'm switching brushes because that first brush is just too big to work with this darker color. So I'm using something a little smaller. This is actually by Morphe. It's the B80. You guys, these colors are not bad. I am kind of impressed. Why have I not heard of this brand before? I'm kind of impressed with this level of pigment. I don't know why I have not heard of this brand before. I mean, look at that. That is impressive. I'm kind of excited about this. Did I just like discover a hidden gem? So next I do want to soften that a little bit, the color I just applied, so I'm just going to use the bigger brush. I didn't add any product to it. I'm just using it to soften that out. I didn't expect it to have so much color. Okay, I am so impressed. I'm excited. I feel like I just discovered something awesome. Next, I'm going to take this shade right here, Antique, which is a really shimmery yellow gold, and I'm going to pack that onto the eyelid. And I'm going to use the brush that it came with. On the other side of that brush, it has a really stiff basic shader brush. And it is pretty stiff. It's a little more stiff than I normally like my shader brushes to be, but let's give it a try. So I'm gonna load up the side of the brush and I'm just gonna go in here and press it on. Okay, I don't really like this brush for this. It's kind of a little patchy, hard to work with. So I'm gonna change brushes and see if that helps. Okay, the shimmer shadows might be a different story. Oh, well, actually, let me go to the other lid and see if that helps. Okay, so they're a slightly patchy, not bad, but not as impressive as the matte shades in terms of quality. You really kind of have to press. If you really swipe or brush, it kind of gets patchy. So it's good color payoff though, not bad. I'm gonna go in with this shade right here, this highlight, and I'm gonna add this to the inner corner of my eye and just kind of go over that yellow gold a little bit, kind of tone it down. Okay, so the shimmers are okay. They're not bad, but they are thicker and they're not as easy to work with, but they're not bad. I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, they're like a 6. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of pull that shimmer down right here. Pretty. Okay, then I'm gonna go back with the crease brush just to kind of go over the crease a little bit in case any of that shimmer or frost kind of muddied into that crease. I'm gonna kind of blend it away. Okay, so that's not bad. Yeah, the shimmer shadows aren't bad, you guys, but I definitely think the mattes are kind of what impressed me more. Next, I'm going to take this shade right here and I'm going to mix it with this highlight shade over here for my brow highlight color. And I'm going to use the brush that it comes with, the more stiff side. I'm going to go right underneath the brow. Okay, so I don't think that this brush is very good. I think it's too stiff, and I think if you're working with any of the shadows that are shimmer, it just doesn't like pick it up. So I'm gonna go back to a softer but still dense brush to pick up the brow highlight shade. Yeah, that's better. That's much better. You see the difference between that? This just really picks up and grabs the product. That really stiff synthetic fibers, it doesn't grab the product. I think it'd be better with like a cream product, but not so much with powder. Yeah, that's much better. Okay, ooh, I like that. I think I'm gonna go in right here and do the same thing. That's so pretty. So next I'm gonna line the upper lashes and I'm using a black liquid liner. This is by DHC, and I'm just gonna create a nice, clean, soft wing liner. So I didn't bring an eyeliner up here, so I'm just gonna put a little bit of eyeshadow primer underneath my lash line, and I'm gonna go over it with eyeshadow to create more of an intense eyeliner look. So this is just the eyeshadow primer. And I'm actually going to dip my brush into this more kind of espresso brown. It's called, what is this? It's called Comeback. We're going to use this underneath the lower lash line and create kind of like a soft, smoky, diffused line. So I'm not using a real stiff definer. I'm using this brush by, is this Crown Brushes? I don't even sure what brush it is, but this is what the shape of it looks like. So because I put that eyeshadow primer down first, it's going to grab this shadow and make it darker. If I hadn't put it there, you'd still see this shadow, but it would be a lot more sheer, and it likely would not last throughout the day. I think this is going to really help this stay in place. Okay, that's a little thicker than I like, so I'm going to go back and kind of soften that out. So I'm going to use the blushes that come in this palette, and I think I'm going to use this one right here. This is the shade Breathtaking Blush. It's just a really nice, soft, very, very soft peachy pink. It doesn't appear to have any shimmer to it. Nope, it's a matte blush. And I'm just going to dust a little bit of this on the apples of my cheek. The blush has some pretty good color payoff. You have to work a little bit more to blend it than other blushes, but it's pretty good. Yeah, it takes a little bit more work to blend for sure. For lips, I'm using Bite Beauty's Amuse Bouge lipstick in Sugar Cane. And I do have a little bit of gloss on for earlier, so I'm gonna press that together. All right, and that completes this look. You guys, I am really impressed with this palette. So Profusion is the brand, and I'm definitely gonna pick up some more of their products. The mattes especially, if I can find an all matte palette, I think that's where it's at. The shimmers are they're not terrible, but they're definitely not as impressive as the mattes, I feel like. But for the price, I think that it's definitely well worth the $10 for sure. So yeah, I'm so excited about this. What do you guys think? Have you guys tried this brand? What are your thoughts? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? What are some other really inexpensive but good quality makeup eyeshadow palettes? I would love to know down below. I'm trying to kind of diversify my like more affordable drugstore collection because I don't have as much as I would like. So if you have really good brands that you love and swear by, please let me know in the comment section below. But so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I really like the way that this came out. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. All right, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.